Coming up on the all-new edition of the Pro Wrestling Show, we have WWE Backlash as we go through what many consider to be the greatest wrestling match ever between Randy Orton, the Viper, and the Radar Superstar Edge as they continue their long-standing feud, and much more. In Pro, we'll have latest on news information from Pro Wrestling News Hot Topics as AJ Styles fires back at one certain former WWE superstar for calling him out and labeling him as a racist and not supporting Black Lives Matter. We'll have this and more as our new Pro Wrestling Show. Predict the outcome for WWE Backlash starts right now. Hello everyone, welcome to the all-new edition of the Pro Wrestling Show. I'm your host as always, Kenny Dix here. Glad you could join us here on the Pro Wrestling Show. Like I said, join in the conversation using the hashtag Pro Wrestling here on Connect. And don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe means caring. Love it here when you subscribe because that's what it is. Wrestling matters, and thank you all for watching. Alright, no Raw report this week, no SmackDown report. We're just going to have the predict the outcome for WWE Backlash. WWE Backlash comes your way from the Performance Center in Orlando due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Hopefully WWE will start loosening up a little bit and we get back to business and stuff. But we'll have a little bit later on wrestling hot topics. We'll get you track with what's going on with AJ Styles and a former WWE superstar and numerous other superstars, what's going on with them. All right, let's get started with the first half of the predicted outcome for WWE Backlash coming your way. Let's look at the first match. The first match to me is Sheamus versus Jeff Hardy. This match has been so personal and so vengeful for weeks. This whole thing started when Jeff Hardy was going back to his road to recovery on SmackDown to give us insight on his past demons with drugs, alcohol, trying to get back to being a good father and staying out of trouble. Well, Sheamus was on the other end, kept hearing the notion about Jeff Hardy. He didn't like it. He kept picking with Mike Cole. So Jeff Hardy and Sheamus had their battles. Jeff Hardy won a couple of matches. And now it all came to a head this week on SmackDown when Jeff Hardy and Sheamus was in the ring for their contract signing. Well, Jeff Hardy was supposed to, like he thought he was going to sign the contract, but turned around, Sheamus decided that he wanted Jeff Hardy to take a urine test. And Jeff Hardy took the urine test. Jeff Hardy felt a little bit upset, frustrated that he didn't, get what he wanted. Jeff Hardy thrust that urine sample on Sheamus's face. The old line, better be pissed on than pissed off situation. And Jeff Hardy now looks forward to his match against Sheamus. To me, I believe that Sheamus might win this one because he took the humiliation. So look for Sheamus to win this one. Is this camera? Can you see? Okay. Look for Sheamus to win that one. And it's just, we'll see how this rivalry escalates. Because Jeff Hardy cost Sheamus the Intercontinental Championship opportunity. Sheamus looking for revenge off that. And now he gets his revenge on that. So look for Sheamus to win that one. Speaking of that, Apollo Crews, the new United States champion, defends his title against former title holder Andrade. Well, Andrade had to go through a triple threat match between Kevin Owens and his fellow colleague Angel Garza. Andrade pulled all the stops, cheated and win. Andrade now the new number one contender and gets his rematch. Well, Apollo Crews in his first title, somewhat in his second title defense, look for Apollo Crews to retain the United States Championship. But you never know, Andrade might come in the door and might win it. So I'm going to go with Apollo Crews winning that match. So look for that. Speaking of that, the Raw Women's Championship is on the line as Asuka defends her championship against Nia Jax. This is Asuka's first title defense ever since winning the title at Money in the Bank, but she didn't know. But Becky Lynch situation, being pregnant, Becky Lynch unable to defend. Now the rivalry come to a head between Asuka and Nia Jax. Nia Jax been playing serious mind games with Asuka, even taking out Asuka's friend Kairi Singh and leaving her concussed. So look for Asuka to defeat Nia Jax and send Nia Jax back to the performance center to give some a little bit more training after she been a little bit physical as of late with her. So, ooh, Lord. All right. Now another match is for the WWE Universal Championship. It's going to be a 2-on-1 handicap match where champion Braun Strowman goes against the tag team of Miz and John Morrison. Well, the Miz and John Morrison had a series of matches with Braun. They couldn't beat Braun until they both decided that they can beat Braun together. They've been playing a lot of mind games with Braun Strowman as of late. So this past week on SmackDown, it was a huge 6-man tag team match where Braun teamed up with Heavy Machinery. Otis has that money break briefcase that Braun had told Heavy Machinery up front, y'all try to do some shenanigans, it's on. Where the other side was Miz and John Morrison with their buddy, Dolph Ziggler. Well, Otis got the win during that caterpillar stance on Dolph Ziggler. But Braun's looking for business and Braun looking to take care of business. Look for the Monster Among Men to retain his Universal Championship and keep it head on going. I don't know what's going to happen with Miz and Morrison. There's a lot of rumors going around that Miz and Morrison could break up. So we'll keep a close eye on that. They break up or not. So we'll see. All right. That ends your first half of predicted outcome for WWE Backlash. We'll have the second half later on in the show. But when we return, we have hot topics as a whole bunch of controversy with CM Punk and AJ Styles. What's going on with that? We'll find out after this. Welcome back to the Pro Wrestling Show. I'm your host as always, Ken Dix here. Glad you can join us in the Pro Wrestling Show. Join in the conversation using the hashtag Pro Wrestling here on Connect. And don't forget to subscribe. Subscribing is king. Love to hear you subscribe because Pro Wrestling matters. And you know that you love Pro Wrestling and we make content for you, Pro Wrestling audience. All right, let's get to hot topics. So hot topics this week. Man. Now we talked about earlier about Bruce Pritchard taking over the reins of both Raw and SmackDown. He was the SmackDown executive director, but now he's taking over the reins of Raw after WWE released Paul Heyman removed him from his duties as Raw executive director, and he will remain as an in-ring performer for Brock Lesnar. So, in the agent, whatever you want to call it. So, let's read the statement. In an effort to streamline our creative ride process for television, we have consolidated both teams from Raw and SmackDown into one group led by Bruce Pritchard. Paul Heyman will concentrate on his role as an in-ring performer. Now, a lot of people are speculating that what really happened between why Paul Heyman got released. A lot of people are saying that Paul Heyman got released because Paul Heyman was pushing the stars. He told Mr. McMahon that it's going to take a while. Mr. McMahon trying to save face and trying to find a fall guy like he did with Eric Bischoff and a lot of his former two co-presidents during the meeting and stuff. So Paul Heyman will no longer be a creative force on Raw as he was pushing the lights. They said he was pushing people from the SmackDown catering team like Andrade, Zelina Vega, Apollo Crews, a list of others, Ricochet, and now they're on Raw. And now a lot of people fearful that Mr. McMahon and Bruce Pritchard and him that A lot of the people you see ain't gonna really get the push they really get and deserve. So that's unfortunate, but hey, Bruce Pritchard better hope he's next, and I just hope Bruce Pritchard knows what he's doing, because they're gonna nail the hammer down on him eventually. So there you go. All right, there are reports that Evolve Wrestling is in financial trouble, and WWE may bail them out. Now, this comes after the whole COVID-19 pandemic, where no wrestling shows has been going on. And in Evolve, you've seen the likes of a lot of people from Evolve, like Austin Theory, Drew Galloway, EC3, list of others. But if WWE gets it, that means that they can get access to their tape library, where they can do DVDs and say where the stars has from the stars of tomorrow started today. So this could be a good look for WWE. WWE been needing some more content for their network. So speaking of their network is free for new subscribe for just free. So the network trying to, and then I guess you got to pay some, and they ain't gonna make you pay pay-per-view, get pay-per-view free. I don't think so. Stuff like that. So we'll see. Speaking of that, former WWE commentator and Lucha Underground commentator Matt Striker appeared on the Fox reality show Labor of Love. He was eliminated, where the concept of the show is, I've been watching the show as of late, where a woman immediately wants to start a family and be connected to it's like the Bachelorette that wants to be pregnant and be impregnated immediately. So that's what the concept of the show is, the theme of the show. Matt Striker, former wrestler, and I think they say he worked backstage at Impact as a producer or a director. That's just weird that Matt Striker got the gift of the gab, and he's been relegated to Impact behind the scenes like Kevin Dunn. You would think you would put him on the commentary booth, but really, come on. Dang. All right. Speaking of somebody's pregnancy, we know that the Bella twins are expecting their children real soon this summer. Well, Nikki had did her show on the E Network, and she revealed that she and her fiance Autumn are having a baby boy. And congratulations to both of them. Well, both couples, Dan Bryan and Breed, opted not to reveal what they're having, which that's crazy. But hey, they weird anyway. But congratulations to Nikki and Autumn for their having a baby boy. Speaking of that, Celia Del Renta has re-signed with MLW. So Celia Del Renta will expand her services still to MLW. So she reminds you of the Sensational Sherry. If you remember Sensational Sherry, WWE, Celia Del Renta reminds me of that, and she is a vicious woman, and vicious woman indeed, and she is a ruthless woman with a lot of clientele. So we'll see what kind of clientele she'll try to tangle with. Speaking of the new news, Ring of Honor plans to hold empty arena shows. So Ring of Honor plans to hold empty arena shows. They don't have a idea of where they want to place it and do the empty arena shows, but they got like some little dojo in Baltimore. So go back where it all began. They was in Baltimore. So remember the first episode of Ring of Honor? They was in under Sinclair, was in Baltimore, the little small dingy arena with the dingy lights. So go back home with that and work your magic with that. All right. Speaking of that, WWE reportedly had plans for Drew McIntyre versus Jinder Mahal. So we don't know if those plans will still stand, but Jinder Mahal was seen in Birmingham trying to get his knee reattached. So Jinder Mahal trying to recoup his knee. So could we see it? We'll have to see and wait and see. I'll tell you what might go down later on the Pro Wrestling Show for one of those main events. Speaking of that, Mae Young Classic is not happening this year due to the coronavirus pandemic. Mae Young Classic won't happen this year. A lot of people are kind of a little bit perturbed on that, a little bit like, but What kind of standout do you think would have made it for a Mae Young Classic? Tell us. All right. Speaking of that, MLW star Richard Holiday suffered a hamstring injury. Holiday said that he had experienced a pop on his hamstring, and he went to the doctor to get it checked, and he's likely to be out for a couple more months. But MLW, they're kind of like, so Richard Holiday, one of the rising fasting stars in MLW, expect him to be a world champion someday, and hopefully MLW or some more WWE signs, some more AEW signs, since his buddy MJF is down there. Speaking of that, MLW confirms they signed a deal with DAZN. Now, many of you may know DAZN is for UFC in the combatant world. Now MLW joins that program. So expect MLW and DAZN to increase the partnership going forward. All right. Speaking of that, Daniel Bryan praises the New Day on their podcast, speaking on the Black Lives Matter. Well, if you saw this week on SmackDown, the New Day were sporting some arm gear that said Breonna Taylor and George Floyd and Black Lives Matter. So they are in solidarity, as we are. You see in the background with that Black Lives does matter. And I think Connect TV sent something, our PR department sent something this past week on Instagram and all our social media channels that we are inclusive and want to be diverse and stuff like that. And we're on the forefront of that. And, hey, Connect TV is on the go. All right. Speaking of that, Booker T, Hall of Famer, believes that Impact Wrestling might be back in the game, since Impact could collect a lot of people during this time. A lot of people's contracts are about to open up. So hear what the book man had to say about that on his radio show. Watch this.
After his short hiatus, man, they brought him back real quick. I like that. But what I want to talk about was Impact Wrestling. Impact Wrestling is perhaps maybe back in the wrestling game real soon.
What do you mean? What do you mean back in the wrestling? They've been around for since 02. 18 years.
No, but maybe they're getting ready to make a play, because I was just thinking with all of the acquisitions out there right now.
Well, yeah.
Everybody.
Well, did you see that video out there?
Yeah, exactly. The video, Slammiversary, getting ready to kick off. Eric Young was part of it. Mike and Maria Bennett, Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson, Drake Maverick was in it. EC3 was in that thing also. Kurt Hawkins was in there as well. And you like I say, there's a lot of other guys out there that's independent right now. That's self-contractors. That's free agents. That's looking to get picked up. I'm wondering, is this a time now for Impact Wrestling to bang, explode again and get back in the game?
If they were able to get a lot of those guys that they put in the little video, because so the video was, like you said, promoting Slammiversary, and they showed like a television, it was like a news reporter saying, all these superstars have been released, we wish them the best of luck on their future endeavors, and then they flashed the screen to a bunch of guys.
Yeah.
If they were able to get all of those talents and give them decent contracts where they can make a living and be on Impact Television, Impact would have a serious go of it. I mean, that's a lot of talent, especially, like you said, Luke Gallows, Carl Anderson. There's a lot of names on that list. I think EC3 was in the video as well. There are some people that they could build some compelling television around. I don't think, though, if you just want my own opinion, I think that was a video made to create conversation more than it was an advertisement for these are the guys that we have coming in, right?
Yeah.
I think that the Impact is smart. They just said, we want to get people excited for Slammiversary. What better way to get them excited than to tease there's going to be some big returns? And because
but think about it, man. You got to think about it. You got to think somebody is going to show up.
Somebody's showing up.
You got to think.
But do you think all those people are going to be there?
Look, man, you got to think Anthem. You know, Anthem been doing a lot of big major moves, a lot of money moves. I'm sure they're saying, hey, man, this is the time to get back in the game. There's guys out there like Rusev, right now. We got guys.
That could be a big pickup.
We got guys out there like Heath Slater, Eric Rowan, Cassius Ono. It's a lot of big guys out there that we can pick up that can put a lot of behinds in the seats. And I really think right now it's a perfect time for TNA to pull the trigger to get back in the game. I'm serious, man. But the question is, the word out there that WWE reached out to a lot of these guys to make their comeback as well. How many guys are gonna, make the move and go back like a Drake Maverick? Because Drake Maverick, man, you saw how upset he was about.
I mean, he was in literal tears,
guttural
emotion.
He was very emotional. So how many of these guys you think gonna take a chance, and try greener pastures somewhere else?
Well, I think, here's the thing, too. You have to realize some of these guys, when they got released, right? Let's go back to 2015 or whatever it was, 14. Whenever that initial big wave got released back in the day, Jinder, Drew, those kind of guys, right? They, especially Drew, he was like, okay, I got released. That's fine. I went to Impact Wrestling. I went to these other places. I built myself back up. And then when I came back, I was looked at in a different light.
Yeah.
I think that it's smart for a lot of guys to not necessarily look for greener pastures, but be away for a little bit, reinvent yourself, recreate yourself, make yourself a hot commodity so that they want you to go back. They need you back. Not that, okay, yeah, I mean, we'd like to have you on the roster. No, we need Drew McIntyre on the roster. We need Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson back. We need Drake Maverick. You got to make yourself a commodity.
But some of these guys, man, were already looking to leave anyway. People, a lot of guys were frustrated, saying, "Hey, man, I want my release." I mean, come on, look at the Revival. My thing is this: to be able to step away for a minute, like you said, build yourself back up. But then again, see exactly where you are in the business. See exactly where you are in life. As far as, my thing is financial wise. I don't know if these guys think enough about that. Because being out there on the independent scene, especially when things were hot and rolling, guys will be able to make, good money out there, and not work as much. Be able to, write their own ticket, write their own schedules, whatnot. And that sometimes is okay for a lot of people. They don't have to be in the bright lights. They don't have to be in the big shows. They don't have to be on the airplane going overseas and doing because a lot of times once you taste it, the taste may not be what you wanted. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You remember the kid that we had, the writer that we had down here that was with WWE for a while.
The writer?
Yeah, he was a writer with the black nails. He was at one of the shows with Impact. He worked for Impact.
Oh, yes. Jimmy Jacobs.
Jimmy Jacobs, yeah. You remember how he was after he said, man, I got there and I it seemed like I thought it was my dream job, something I wanted. And then I realized it was something that I didn't want to. You remember that?
Yeah.
So I think a lot of times you can get something and then you say, man, this is not what, just like Ronda Rousey, she said, man, it was fun. It's fun going out there messing around, but it didn't suit her.
Right.
Like, the real thing did.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Well, I mean, yeah, I think that's also, it's a great opportunity, like you said, for these guys who did get released to at least experience what life is like maybe away from wrestling. Because right now, other than AEW, there's some Impact tapings, and WWE, no independent wrestling is running right now. Well, there's none. So you have to kind of sit home right now in this quarantine era, and maybe it makes you think about different careers and different paths you can take.
Well, I think what it does for you also is when you get to WWE, you realize, man, maybe I wasn't that big of a star that I thought I was.
Well, because now you're just another fish in the pond.
Well,
right?
you're among the elite. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then it's a pecking order. It's a ranking system.
Yeah.
You got to work your way through it as well. So everybody just don't come in.
I was watching this movie the other night. It was about motocross, right? And this person was the best rider in their hometown. They go to compete in a big competition, and they come in 7th. And this guy comes up. He said, "You're the best rider at your track, huh?" And he goes, "Yeah." He goes, "So are all these guys." He goes, "You're not that special." And then he walked away. Right? Is that kind of what you're saying about WWE?
Exactly
it's like
what I'm saying.
you might have been the biggest fish in the pond in the Georgia territory.
Yeah.
But now you're in New York, brother.
But that's what I'm saying. You get a chance to go back and relive that all over again, get that experience and say, okay, now I know where I'm at. Okay, now I kind of figure out, exactly what I got to do to make it to the next level. It's not going to be as simple as me just showing up and I'm here, Because I remember before, Sean Spears got to the main roster. You remember that?
Mm-hmm.
And
he was Ty Dillinger at the time.
Exactly.
Perfect 10.
And everybody was so over with this kid. Everybody was like, man, this guy's the future of the business. And then got in there and things didn't pan out for him. Things didn't just explode. The rocket just didn't, blow up. And, he goes straight to the moon. Hey, kid, you got a great look. You got a hell of a future. You got a hell of a... That happened. But then they say, but tonight... You know what I mean? I need you to get this guy home. It was one of those times.
I need you to do the job.
Exactly. It was one of those type of deals, man. And then you realize, man, what's going on? But to be able to go back and just like now, he's doing something totally different. Now he's getting highlighted, getting spotted.
Tully Blanchard.
Exactly. You know what I mean? Now, maybe the light at the end of the tunnel is a little bit brighter, and he see it and actually know, man, okay, now I know how to get there. It's one of those type of deals. Yeah. And a lot of times, a lot of these guys, honestly, got to go through stuff like this in order to find themselves. So, hey, I'm looking forward to see if TNA Impact can get back.
But for you, you went straight to WCW essentially, and then you went straight to WWE. You never really had that opportunity to step back, did you, and reevaluate?
I never wanted to.
Well, I know you never wanted to, but you never. But I'm saying, did you ever go through anything similar to what some of these guys might be going through right now? No.
I've never had to go through this. When I came to WCW, me and my brother worked there for the duration until the company closed down, and then boom, came to WWE. Worked there, and then I, took a step back and, went over to TNA for a minute. Nice little vacation, then came back and, I've been here ever since. But no, I never had to, thank God, and, thank God, knock on wood. I'm not saying I'm special or anything like that. I just happened to be in the right place at the right time. Having a little bit of talent didn't hurt as well as, we didn't have a pandemic, so I was just blessed. Hey guys, stick around. You're in the Hall of Fame.
Sorry that Booker T knows that Impact could get themselves back in the head of the game, getting some of those release stars, and see who could make their way to Impact Wrestling. We know Rockstar Spud is not coming. We know that EC3 may come, may not come. He just keep teasing. Anderson Gallo is likely to go New Japan. Mike and Maria, we don't know where they might land, Impact or a Ring of Honor. I think Mike want to land Impact because it's something that eluded him not being the TNA World Champion. So that could elude him right there. So we'll see. We'll wait and see on a lot of stuff. All right. Even New Japan announced their event schedule and they will resume back in early July. So New Japan getting the ground in motion and stuff early July. Speaking of that, Corey Graves deactivates his Twitter account. So I don't know that he got 30 days to do so or his 30 days are up. Speaking of that, WWE is looking for a new executive for the network documentaries for the WWE network. So if you're good out there, you're good at documentaries, this is your time now to sign up. This is your time. This is your time now to sign up and make yourself heard, make your voice heard and stuff. So we got Randy Orton and Tommaso Ciampa feuding on Twitter. They've been feuding lately about Orton said something. We've been watching NXT and he's tired of them doing the leg slap. Tommaso Ciampa went back and said that Randy Orton, he let his dog watch Randy Orton matches to feel at peace at night. Wow. I hate to see them two wrestle each other and they'll be rough and stuff. Rough and stiff. I'm just saying. Speaking of that, AJ Styles fires back at CM Punk for saying that he don't support Black Lives Matter. Well, AJ said that he don't want to get themselves involved in that because, you know, AJ ain't speaking enough about it, but, you know, CM Punk just like called him out and said, you're not even trying to sugarcoat and relegate it. So, well, you know, AJ Styles from Georgia, so what you can expect? You know, I think CM Punk was saying, you know, don't look up to your heroes. You do, you'll be disappointed. So that's what's going on with that. AJ don't want to talk about it. So, you know, there you go. And finally, Cage applies for his trademark for his name. Cage, no more contender for the AEW World Title. How could Brian Cage get a world title shot just coming into AEW already against John Moxley? And he did some damage to him. He had met him out the parking lot and beat him up and left a bloody pulp on him and stuff, smashed him in the car. So could Cage be the next AEW champion? Who can say not? With that physique and that, you know, everything this man wants in the champion. I'm talking Khan, don't screw that up. I hope he don't. Put the belt on Cage. And then Taz is mouthpiece too. Taz could be an insider and instigator, and that's what Taz do. All right. And he's in Cage feuding with Lacey Evans on the moonsault. Well, Lacey Evans been doing a good moonsault. She does hers like a springboard. Like Cage just does his, like all his mass all pound on you like that. So Cage just being Cage. But that the AEW title would look good on Cage, and Taz being his mouthpiece survive if Cage let you. I can see that. I can see it. All right, that is the hot topic. Let's get back to the second half of predict the outcome for WWE Backlash. All right, speaking of that, the WWE Women's Tag Team titles on the line as new champions. Sasha Banks and Bayley defend their goal against Alexa Bliss, Nikki Cross, and the Iconics, Billie Kay and Peyton Royce. Well, this whole thing started when Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross were the tag team champions. They were feuding with both teams. On Raw would be the Iconics. On SmackDown would be Bayley and Banks. Bayley and Banks got the opportunity first on SmackDown. Well, that didn't pan out. There was a good tag team match in the end of the main event. But at the end, Bayley and Sasha Banks won, and then they came right to Raw to intervene and interrupt Asuka and Charlotte. An impromptu match with the Iconics, Asuka and Charlotte. Charlotte and Asuka they won the match, but they couldn't get along. Blase. And then this week on SmackDown, Bayley and Sasha Banks had a celebration, which turned sour when Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross spoiled the party. And at the end, too, the Iconics came on the screen. The Iconics told them they can't coexist, and then they couldn't. So, 6 lovely women in the ring. Well, Nikki Cross, like the Iconics are like them, Sasha Banks and Bayley. Well, look for Sasha Banks and Bayley to retain by cheating. Any mean necessary by cheating. So look for that. So there you go. All right. Drew McIntyre defends his WWE Championship against the challenger Lashley with MVP in his corner. Well, like I said, this ain't the first time. This might be the first time in the WWE universe that this might happen for a championship. But if you go way back when, like 4 years ago, when Lashley was the same situation. Drew was the TNA champion and Lashley was the challenger. Lashley won at Slammiversary, and then there's a rematch. Lashley won again. Lashley became a dominant champion for Impact as their version of Brock Lesnar. But now, 4 years later, it's the same situation, but different script, same story. Well, Drew is it's sort of impossible because Bobby Lashley got his number. But the thing is, MVP teased Lashley here and said, Lashley, when the last time did you get a world title match? Lashley had to think about it, and it was 2007, 13 years ago. And now, 13 years later, Bobby Lashley getting over a WWE Championship match. Could this be his time? Could this be his moment? Could it be this moment where Black Lives Matter? Whatever. And a lot of people are saying that Bobby Lashley could win this match. He could win it. But I think Drew will win it this time by cheating or by just getting back. But if it continues on going, then Lashley might get it down the road. And a lot of people are saying they're anticipating that Lashley could be WWE champion and go against Brock Lesnar, the dream match that many people thought would never happen, would happen, and could happen at SummerSlam. So that's a big possibility. So look for Drew McIntyre to retain his title. I'd be shocked as hell if Brock Lesnar win that title. And then also honorable mentions. Could we see AJ Styles and Daniel Bryan go one more time? They had a phenomenal match on SmackDown for the Intercontinental Championship Finals, back and forth. But at the end, a lot of people were thinking Daniel Bryan was going to win. AJ Styles won. AJ Styles is the new Intercontinental Champion. The tie that eluded him. I kind of figured AJ Styles was going to win the belt. AJ Styles, could we see Backlash with AJ Styles defending his goal against Daniel Bryan? We'll see. And the Street Profits could go against Viking Raiders in the tag team title match, but they still continue on playing. And I can do better with basketball, bowling, and dancing, and all this stuff. Extra on, so we don't know. And two, could the New Day defend their goal against Cesaro and Nakamura? Cesaro and Nakamura got the upset of New Day, so only time will tell. This is just honorable mentions. So if it happens, it happens. So all right, deal with it. And finally, as WWE billed as the greatest wrestling match ever, the main event. See Randy Orton, the Viper, versus the Radar Superstar Edge. Randy Orton and Edge, no strange to each other. They fall against each other. They team against each other. They made up against each other. And now Randy Orton wants to know, between the two, who is the greatest wrestler to this day? Now, many folks think great wrestling matches, you think Hogan and Andre, you think Savage and Steamboat, which is considered the greatest wrestling match, greatest WrestleMania wrestling match. Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels, and Bret Hart during their Iron Man match at WrestleMania 12. Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Rock during those WrestleMania trilogy matches. John Cena and whoever against those two. But between the two, they want to know between each other who's got the greatest wrestling match ever. Well, it's not like Roddy Piper and Hulk Hogan when they had the WCW build as the match of the century. You know, Hogan lost, but Piper won, but the belt was not on the line. No belt on the line. It's just a grudge match. It's a personal feud, personal rivalry, it's a personal vendetta between you two. But Edge got questioned by Christian, who questioned that, is Edge doing this for himself or for his own self-guilt? Well, Edge had told Christian he's doing this because he wants to know he can do it or not. He hanging up. Randy Orton wants to know if he hang. So I want to say, look for Randy Orton to win this match by any means necessary, by cheating to win, to say he's the greatest wrestler. So Randy Orton can say his legacy ain't been tarnished by Edge by that WrestleMania match and that last man standing. Look for them to have another match down the road. I don't know, either Extreme Rules or SummerSlam. Got the end some way, somehow. All right. Thank you all for watching this edition of the Pro Wrestling Show. Predict the outcome for WWE Backlash. You can stream it on WWE exclusively on WWE Network live, you know. And like I said, we're gonna find out all these incredible matches. We're gonna see. Be able to see us next week for another edition of the Pro Wrestling Show. I've been your host, Ken J, saying so long, and we'll see you at the matches and at Backlash. See you later.